Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So today we're here at Men's Couch today. We have Dimitri and Daniel and me.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
And then we have
turn on like the volume like a little bit.
the volume down.
Yeah, like a tad bit.
A
Like,
tad?
he said if it's in the yellow, turn it down like a little bit. Make sure it's not in the yellow. Okay.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's like see how like,
I'm good now.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
We just have to talk
So-
quieter. It's more sensitive, I think.
So, and Angie's here.
Hi guys, my name is Angie.
Woo! Okay.
Whoop, whoop.
So I'm like super happy today because the sun's out and I feel like I have more energy. I'm going through photosynthesis. Anyway, so we're here today. I guess we can start out with like challenges that we're trying to overcome. What are some challenges? And who wants to start?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
So some challenges that I overcame like throughout my lifetime,
Or
like
this past week. You can just this past week.
throughout my past
This
week.
past week. Let's do this past week.
Just like work adding on
Okay.
and like all that stuff. I mean, to the fact that like I have so much work going on, like it's hard to keep up.
Mhm.
That's what's been really stressing me out.
Yeah.
For me, it's just prioritizing school more because we talked about in a men's group. My health's been kind of all over the place recently, but once that's back in check, I can focus more on school. Because school has honestly been like second to me right now because it's just really bad at night sometimes. But yeah, that's just what I'll say. So I guess my challenge is trying to get healthy again.
My intuition was sensing something that there was something wrong.
Well, there's like more to it than that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the main. That's
Yeah.
probably like the main thing, probably.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
A short-term challenge that I've overcome was today I had my math test,
Oh.
and one that I have coming up is another test, a psych test, this Thursday.
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep up with studying and getting back into the groove that I got out of for a few months due to my gap semester.
Okay. So it's like harder to like kind of get used to studying again.
I don't know if it's necessarily harder. It's just different because
Okay.
also college level
different.
studying is a lot more intense than high school,
Yeah.
arguably for me.
I'm sorry. He's just like.
I'm
It's
just
okay.
cracking my knuckles.
You're
sorry.
talking. Like, I'm
I don't
looking
know.
at like who's talking.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, my psych test upcoming, and yeah.
Are you a little like? You're like a little unsure about it, or just?
I'm unsure about obviously studying what the material that we've gotten.
Mhm.
Something that helps me study psych is that I actually am interested in psych.
Yeah.
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 So I hope I do well because it's one of the first tests that I've taken in college.
Mhm.
Maybe it'll be different than I expect. Maybe it might be harder, easier. I'm not sure, but I hope I do
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it's like one of those classes where you really want to like
You want to,
do well.
Yeah.
'cause
Do
it's
really
like,
well.
It's one of your
yeah.
your classes.
Right.
So, today, I think it was a good idea to talk about perfectionism.
Wait. What about you?
Oh. So,
Can't forget about Micah.
So this week, actually, I think what's been on my radar is expectations and how to work with expectations, and I think and that's kind of why I lean toward perfectionism, because I felt that this is a good topic since I've always had these like high expectations of this should happen when this should happen, and at the church service it kind of like that was kind of like the thing was expectations, and how when we like invite people over to our table or our lives, how we expect people to be, and we just need to let people just be instead of like expecting them to be something. So that's kind of like what I'm working on this week. Yeah.
Every time you keep saying you like things a certain way, I always think of the Freud theory.
Like the control thing. So
Yeah,
like
if you hold in your poop, then you like.
yeah,
want things
you're
a certain
more
way.
of
Yeah.
like you're super controlling.
Yeah.
And I think for me it's because I always feel like I don't know. It just feel like I don't like the feeling of lack of control. So I've always like it's kind of like neurotic sort of.
I feel you.
Do you like relate to
I
that?
definitely feel
I don't
that.
know. I thought I was like the only one that kind of like was just like very like neurotic and just like this needs to be like a certain way.
Yeah.
Cause that's like cause my mom is like that, and I realized that like I don't want that trait because like that's not how life works.
And it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like life
Yeah.
is just like, no, we're gonna do it this way, but you're like, oh no, I want an A plus B equals C, but life's like, oh no, that's not how it works.
Because life is so inconsistent, you can't live. Well, you can not. I'm not saying be disorganized, but sometimes it's hard to always have a pattern of certain things when life is so inconsistent and isn't about patterns.
Yeah. It's like
so
that's
yeah.
not how life works. It's not like just like patterns. I think, and I think I'm learning that more now because, it's there's a lot of I don't know, I'm learning to embrace the messiness of life.
And sometimes you don't
So-
even know like what's going on most of the time. You're
Yeah.
just kind of like in your own world.
Yeah. So I don't know where to begin. I think we all have like our battles with perfectionism and trying to like and control. Are we like control freaks here? Who's a control freak? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not a control freak?
Not recently. My goal is just to be. Yeah, sorry. My goal recently has just been get by day, taking things. Well, because of like everything that's been going on, I don't really like. I'm just trying to get through the days.
Okay.
Because, well, I'll get my next infusion in like a week. So I'm just like, all right, let me get to there, and we'll see after that.
So you're not trying to. Are you like worried about it, or is it? Just,
Oh no, not. I mean, I've gone it. I just like wanted. I just like. I mean, I hope it works, obviously, but I wouldn't say I'm worried. I'm actually kind of excited for it because it should help.
So you're have that mindset of like embrace life the way it is instead of just trying to like control it.
Yeah, kind of. It's more of just me like trying to get through the week and
Okay.
really caring about like what happens. Like I'm kind of just going with the flow right now.
Going with the flow. It's super hard for me. I'm like learning that because I don't know. It's for the longest time it was super hard for me to do that, just to go with the flow.
What's up?
What about you? Are you a perfectionist?
I wouldn't describe myself like as a perfectionist because I'm not really perfect at everything. Like, there's some things that I do struggle with that. Like, people say all the time, like, you have your strengths and you have this and that. And, like, sometimes you, like, can't control that because you're, like, no.
Sorry.
It's not sponsored.
The thrill. So back to what I was saying, like, people have, like, their different strengths, and sometimes you can't control that because you're good at what you're good at, and, like, you're not perfect at everything. Like, the world isn't, like, made for that, so that's why, like, you're not perfect at everything.
Are you a perfectionist?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think part of that rooted from the fact that I think I've told you guys that I have a sister, but I've grown up only child at home.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
Okay.
she was significantly older than me.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of dynamic added more to my sense of being a perfectionist. Because, you know, when you're only child, your parents focus on you and you're like the focus of the household.
Yeah.
So that can often be hard whenever you make mistakes or things like that, or when you're probably struggling with something, you feel the sense of having to be perfect at it.
Yeah. Or you can't like reveal that because it reveals your lack of perfectionism.
Yeah. So that's hard. And it's perfectionism is probably something that I'm trying to work on more, just due to the fact unhealthy habits that it brings on.
Yeah.
Feeling like you always have to be the best at everything you do. And then if you're not, you feel like incompetent with that. So that can often be a struggle, and I know it's not healthy. but it's probably something that will take me a long time to improve, if not ever.
Like it's like deeply ingrained.
It's deeply ingrained in probably more things than you would think of.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Which is like, it is interesting because I feel like perfectionists don't give off perfectionist vibes. Like I was like, is this person really a perfectionist? But when you explained that, it's like, okay, now I understand because of like our backgrounds are. Well, my background is that I think I wouldn't say it was like explicit. Like my parents were like, okay, you have to be perfect at everything. It was like try your best, but it was. I think it was. I don't know. I think it was more of like when I had a struggle, it was just seen as like weak or something.
Yeah.
So like to me that meant like, okay, to be good enough, I have to be like perfect. So.
Yeah, like in my case, my parents wouldn't explicitly be like, you have to be perfect.
Yeah.
But when you are, to set the stage, when you're good at something or when you're good at many things, obviously we all have good days and bad days. We can't always live up to the expectation that we sometimes create.
Yeah. That's
so
another thing.
it's kind of a thing where I've met most people in my life. They've known me in a lot of ways, and they see that I may be good at something or many things. Mm-hmm. And when I have bad days or when things happen and I probably don't live up to that expectation, it's kind of like, oh, I thought you were this, but you're not.
Yeah, it's like when you like it's like that one bad day is like defining you, or it's like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Like you slipped up in this area. Like I thought you were like this, and it kind of reveals a lot about like how we see ourselves. If we like see ourselves as like maybe not consciously, but we're like see ourselves as trying to be perfect, then when we have a slip up that like goes against that identity, so we're like, oh, these people view me in this way. How am I supposed to live up to their expectations?
Yeah. And that's terrifying when you've already built a pattern of expectations.
Yeah.
A pattern of, oh, she's a put together person.
Yeah.
In high school, I had a lot of people towards the end of senior year like come up to me and be like, oh, like you sometimes seemed unapproachable because it seemed like you had everything together. I know that was a topic before.
I think elaborate on that.
And they would be like, oh yeah, you've always been so unapproachable to me because it seemed like you had everything together, and you were such like a put together person and I wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's like,
so they're like afraid of like talking to you.
Yeah. And that obviously when people tell you that, it comes with unhealthy effects. For example, when you, like I said, have a pattern of doing things a certain way or being a certain way. And after you accomplish certain things, it's like, it's weird. It's like a tolerance thing where things that you accomplish, you have to do more and more and more, and you have to accomplish more because you feel like it's not good enough
a little bit
anymore.
of like, should like, is addiction like a good word of that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like an addiction.
It's like a kind of like a junkie
accomplishing.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you live off the like
That's your nickname.
a junkie adrenaline, and you thought I was a junkie, but no. So it feels like that. It feels like you have a little bit of accomplishment, and then that's not enough for you, and you need more, and you need more, and you need more.
Yeah, it's like, it becomes an addiction. What's your like thing? Are you addicted to perfectionism, or are you addicted?
I can't relate to this as much because I'm really not, to be honest. Well, it depends on certain things. Like for me, like if I wake up in the morning, I think my hair is messed up, might throw on my hood because I don't want. So I guess it's not really like perfectionist.
It can still be perfectionism because you're like afraid that people aren't seeing you in like
the best form.
The best form.
Yeah.
So it's all about like that like what you were talking about like in your social psychology class.
It's like comfy though too, yeah.
How people like view you. If you're not like in the perfect way, then you have to do that.
The social cognitive or some crap like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's the main thing I think of. That's like the only way I can think of perfectionism because I guess my appearance is the main thing. I can't, like, there aren't things in my like I always tell myself, as long as I make Dean's List, I'm just talking about grades, like perfectionist. That's good enough for me. It's not perfect, like 3.5. You got some B's in there, but that's just like I tend to settle with some things. It just depends on like if I'm playing sports. I don't want to settle. I want to win. It just like depends on the situation. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes
Yes.
you're like you can be a perfectionist. I'm not trying to. It's like my guess. I feel like sometimes when it comes to like bettering yourself, when you like sort of like slip back into something, you kind of like maybe beat yourself up about it. I don't know if that's true.
Oh,
You can,
okay.
like, elaborate on that.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, sometimes I just can't let things go.
Yeah.
I just can't. And most of the time, it's just like things even like interacting with people, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said this. That's the main thing.
So social perfectionism then.
Yeah.
Mm.
That doesn't happen as much to me because like I just like I said, like there's other like things in my life right now that so I don't really care as much. But the main thing is just like in basketball. If I lose a game of basketball and like it's my fault, I missed a shot. It takes me a while to let that go. I'm like, I should have made this shot.
So maybe like in sports, you're a
That's
perfectionist.
the main thing I can think of, or just like in when I play video games, yeah. But yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. I feel like you're trying to blur out something.
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh?
No, I feel like a lot of the times people generalize that perfectionism is overall, but you can also sometimes see it with people. Like, for example, you gave the examples of what affects you. It can be a lot to do with maybe you're good at things, and when you feel like you haven't lived up to what you're good at,
Your personal
you're
goals
hard.
or
You're hard on yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a type of perfectionism too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the areas that I struggle with perfectionism is like, it's kind of like every day when you like kind of, maybe this was more, maybe I had this issue probably more like in the past, but it's more of like expecting like the day to be a certain way, and then it isn't that way, and then I just like, you feel like, it's like you feel like it's like a failure, so because the day isn't what you expect it to be. So I think having those expectations, I think I'm learning to try to be in the flow of life more, trying to like go with the flow. I'm kind of like understanding what that means now, but before it was like I was upset of like, okay, this wasn't like this, like what, why?
So, like, what I was going to say, like, I feel like if you're not living up to your expectations, like, you won't get further in life. I mean, and by saying that, like you'll get anxiety more easier, or you'll be down a lot. And, like, if you do live up to these expectations, like, you can be more happier and, like, believe more in perfection, or pretty much, like, whatever you want to feel like, pretty much.
I feel like, I feel like there's always a point in our life when we meet our expectations and when we don't. And it's normal to not meet those expectations because realistically everything that we have as an expectation is the ideal thing, is a perfect thing in our mind.
Yeah.
So it's not always, Yeah,
I think also like, I don't want to cut you off, but I think also me being like, having these ideal standards, I think also kind of gets me, like, it's like a cycle. It's like I have like these ideal standards, then I don't live up to the standards, and then I go into like this, like,
loop.
Yeah, this loop of just like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? And then I like try to live up to those ideal expectations. But I don't think we realize that some of our expectations are not like realistic. I think I don't realize that because I just feel like this should happen, but it doesn't happen. Yeah.
Or I think maybe it's not that they're not realistic. Maybe there is a lack of patience on our end, and we want things done right away, and we want to know everything that will happen, and that's the unrealistic part, is not having enough patience and expecting everything to be best case scenario when life doesn't give a crap about that.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is sometimes.
Yeah, it's like you have like your own agenda, but then it doesn't, like, things don't go according to your agenda, and then you get upset. I think that's me. It's like I feel like need to have an agenda, but it doesn't work out that way. Do you have an agenda?
Mhm.
You mean like a planner type thing?
No, just like, do you have like a way that you think life should go, but then it doesn't go the way that you think it does, and then you like.
I don't really think about it, honestly. Especially, I kind of just I feel like since coming here, I kind of just I wouldn't say I have like a certain plan, because things will just happen spontaneously. People will ask me to do things like late night activities or whatever it is, and I kind of just do it. It's crazy how that picks that up.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like I wouldn't say I've actually today I started like I want to start like journaling more, like my thoughts.
I love journaling.
It's like kind of off
Same.
topic.
We
but,
need to like.
kind of off topic, but like
Journaling.
well, not. It's more of like a not really. Well, I'm just like I guess like a diary, so I'm like talking about my thoughts. I guess
Yeah.
like that.
Kind of like a tracker.
Yeah.
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 Kind of like a daily, like, write down, like, what you want to do.
What's
sort of
going
thing.
on? What's going on with Dimitri today?
It's a private
Yeah.
information, of course.
Yeah.
It's kind of just so I can look back on it. So like when I'm like when I'm in a better state, I can like see like how bad it was.
Yeah, I kind of like look back at
improvement.
my old high school journals, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like what's going on back there? Like, what's
Yeah.
wrong? Like, Mike, are you okay?
That's the main reason I'm doing it, though, just so I can look back and be like, wow, this was really bad at one point.
But I also do it to like embrace the moment, because I feel like writing it down helps me to see what's going on, but to also have like compassion for myself for what is going on. Yeah.
So like when you like write it down, you're like you can like think about it, or like it's like you're like seeing it kind of, so you're like, wow, this is bad.
Kind of, but also like I've always like writing. I feel like writing is a way for me to express myself.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
but like you said it earlier, yeah.
Yeah, I've had a journal since I was 12.
Mm.
Yeah, I like
That'd be so cool to look back on. I feel like.
Yeah.
I just
I
got a
still
journal
ha-
like this Christmas.
I still have it. It's it's at home, but I think having that when you track, because I feel like without it, I wouldn't notice my progress, and we're always I feel like maybe future oriented, so we don't like see the progress that we made. So to help with perfectionism, like you need to see the progress that you made, like which is proof that you actually like
Are improving.
Yeah.
Are growing.
it's like the proof.
changing.
Yeah.
I actually have to ask you journal questions. Like, was it something you were like you journal every day, and also how much are you writing? Because like my first journal entry, I only wrote like a couple sentences.
I journal maybe every week or so. I don't journal every day.
Oh, it's like a weekly
I don't think
synopsis.
journaling,
Okay.
for
Mhm.
me, journaling every day doesn't always work. Because I don't, it's really when I feel like inspired. So like Sunday, I felt like very inspired to journal about the church
Yeah.
service. So I wanted to journal about that.
Your mind is advancing. That's how you can tell.
Huh?
Your mind's advancing. That's how
Yeah.
you can tell.
Yeah.
By writing a journal every day, I mean.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys a question?
Go
So
ahead.
when you journal, do you have like today I'll journal, or is it just spontaneous? When you
The-
guys decide to
like
journal.
an idea of what
like
you
do you
wanna
guys
write?
do you guys have a routine of, oh yeah, these days I'm gonna journal, this time I'm gonna journal?
No, it's usually spontaneous.
Okay.
Like I'll just like open it, like I need to write this down because it's like very inspiring, and then just write about it. It's also a lot when I read books. I'll journal then as well when I read like all those books. That I
You write
get.
notes about like you're reading.
Well, my reflections on what
Oh,
it
okay.
is. So,
Nice.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So for Christmas, I got like a daily journal, and it asks like what you ate for lunch or what you did today.
Cool.
Yeah, I want to start because
See, some people have it more structured. I don't have like a structure.
when I saw like Marm's little planner thing, I feel like just like writing a couple things you want to get accomplished in the day, that like helps us like to see it. So I definitely want to start doing that too. Maybe just like writing that couple things that, since like I have been like unmotivated recently.
Oh.
Well,
You
okay.
want to talk about it?
No, well you know, well
Oh,
you
no?
no, you know, because like
Yeah, I know a little
no,
bit of it.
no, I mean like in our psych classes we only have like the big assignments, like we don't like it's, and then
Yeah.
it's all due at the end, so I'm not stressed on that at all.
Yeah.
But not really unmotivated. I just haven't because all like our professor tells us he's just like read the chapters, which I actually did earlier. So, but like I'm just saying. So I guess I'm not really because I don't really have any work to do. So I guess I'm not really unmotivated. I just didn't feel like reading.
Mm-hmm.
I read it today though.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just want to have like a thing so I can like. I don't know. You feel accomplished if you like check everything off. You know.
Oh.
You know.
What?
Like, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't have like a structured journal. Mine is just like, you know what? It's mostly like, it's also, I journal about things that I think about that are like, or like, if this video I watched, I'm inspired by it. I journal mostly about that. But I do want to talk about, because you mentioned like you have perfectionism when it comes to like some social interactions.
Yeah,
or like
depends.
like after the social interaction, you do like the post social like you have like this like thoughts or just like, oh, what did I say? Because I struggle with that like a lot, like the social perfectionism.
I mean, sometimes the hood just comes on because I don't want to interact with anybody. So I'm just like I'm just trying to chill. So I'm like, all right, I'm just kind of like hope no one sees me.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often. It's like sometimes.
Does anyone else have social perfectionism or?
Can you like define that more?
So it's kind of like social anxiety, but not to like the degree of like my social anxiety. What he was saying, like you kind of like in social interactions, you have like this expectation of how they should go, but then it doesn't go that way, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what did I say? I wish I never said that, or I wish I would have did this. Kind of like like social regret, like you regret it immediately after, or like if you're like and we were trying to go to sleep, you'll think about like what happened during the day, kind of like that.
Yeah. To a certain degree, I have that especially when I meet new people, because I think I've told you I can be awkward sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not like
We're all awkward.
Yeah, it's not like I spurt anything out.
Yeah.
But see, like now.
Yeah, this is totally fine.
Yeah, that social awkwardness can sometimes contribute to maybe not coming across always the way I want to, or the way I am.
Yeah.
And then later on, I'm like, damn, I messed up.
Yeah, because you like have you have this like vision of how you want the social interaction to go,
yeah.
but it doesn't like go that way. And then you're just like you show up as more awkward, and then you're just like, okay, what does that person think of me? They're gonna think like I'm just weird or coming off like
or that I'm
always,
socially
like,
unaware. I don't know.
Yeah, like we're always afraid of like how that other person is like looking to like judge us. So I feel like perfectionism is like about having like that inner critic. Maybe it is an inner critic.
Yeah.
Of like the judge.
So to summarize that, I do have it, especially when there's when the interactions are spontaneous, particularly with new people. So yeah.
Oh yeah, when it's like, especially with like unplanned interactions or someone is like catching me off guard, and I'm in the cafeteria, it'll just be like, whoa! I just like kind of like feel surprised. It's like because I always feel like I should come to social interactions like just like with like this like formal thing where you're just like, yeah, hi. It is like it's but when people like catch me off guard, then I'm just
disoriented.
Disoriented. It's just like what?
Yeah.
So I definitely relate to that. How about you?
Usually like when I meet other people, like what Angie said, like I can be a little bit awkward at first, but then like as soon as I like start talking to them a few times, like I start to open up a little bit. And that can also relate to what I've been going through like throughout my entire life, because I know I've been in situations where I walk up to like people and I don't say a word and they're saying like, oh hey, why are you being awkward? Like, do you have something to say? And I've definitely, I don't know how to like explain it pretty much, because whenever I've been in awkward situations, like I tend to walk away, but then like try again later on.
Okay.
And going like, oh hey, how are you? Remember me? Like,
yeah.
I was the one who walked up to you and didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of like that that
Fight or flight mode.
Yeah, the
Yes.
fire fight mode. We were just talking about that in class today.
Oh.
So,
Oh no. Like
yeah. So I
Missed it.
think, I think with interactions, I think everyone has like their inner critic about what actually happens in the interaction, but then what you want to happen, and it just like you beat yourself up after. So I'm trying to like, I think journaling definitely helps to. And to my listeners, I don't want to say like, okay, you should journal. We're just saying like journaling how it's like helped us like accept how life is. I think journaling helps me to accept the flow of life. I think it's
Yeah.
like
Or I feel like I do journal. Whenever I write, it's kind of spontaneous.
Mhm.
I also like journals that have like prompts.
Okay.
Because you get my most original and genuine writing when it's spontaneous.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time to structure everything and be like, okay, I leave this out, I leave this in.
No. That's,
And even if you probably don't feel any relief, you at least can, once everything's written down, you can kind of make sense of it. If you are having trouble understanding things, when you see things written out, it can be easier to come to an understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I have this pattern. I need to notice this. I need to notice that I'm a perfectionist. So that's why I write it down. So that's why you notice stuff, and you're able to acknowledge this when it's like on paper. And I think that's how journaling has helped me overcome perfectionism, is to understand that life just happens and life is messy. So I think I'm like trying to learn. Is it like cutting off?
Yeah, there's moments where I don't.
Yeah, I don't know
what's going on. Okay, I think it's back now.
Okay, I don't know. It's just it's a technology. What?
No, it's good. Yeah.
You're relating?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about.
So like how?
Journaling.
Yeah, we're talking about
Mhm.
journaling. How it helps us with perfectionism, and how are you able to like accept life how it is? You said you just live in the flow of
Like
life.
it meets up your expectations.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just started doing it. I'm mainly just doing it to see like improvement. Well, not improve. Well, I guess similar to when I started like lifting. Even though I've been kind of slacking lifting, I wish I had more like beginner picks, because you just want to see like the growth physically, and like obviously journal is opposite. I want to see like how like much. Well, hopefully, like mentally, I'll be like holy crap, this is crazy. Like look back
Yeah.
on it. I'm basically reiterating what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Also, it's an off topic, or like kind of like an off topic question.
Okay. Shoot.
Okay, so like
Wait. Okay. Go ahead.
okay, like so like is your hair like does your hair like look the same when it's wet?
It's a little bit more. I'll show you a video.
Okay.
I have like.
I was thinking
videos
about like,
of,
so it's like I know like that kind of hair. I don't know if it's like I don't know why. That's like really what I was thinking about. Like sending
Black History Month.
I'm kind of dying to know what it looks like.
Okay, I'll send it to the men's gal chat then, I guess.
Or no, like untwist it and like do like an afro.
What?
Like untwist your hair and then do like an afro. Yeah.
No, I'm not untwisting my hair.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was kidding.
That's the purpose of locks, is to
Yeah, I know.
like unravel it. That's how you do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions about like I'll give you the whole secrets of black hair.
I like your velvet vibe today.
The velvet?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I decided to wear this with the thing. So I think we kind of like have we said all that we wanted to say today, or is there anything else that we wanted to add?
I also like the beads like toward your dreads.
Is there anything else that we wanted to add to the?
Oh, is there anything you want to add? Or?
No, I think what we need to learn about perfectionism is to accept that life is messy, and that to embrace the awkwardness of just because just allow yourself to be awkward, and it's hard for me to do that, and it looks like it's hard for you to do.
Yeah, it's very hard. Sometimes it's not just like embracing the awkwardness, sometimes it also depends on the maturity of the other people to be able to understand that.
For sure.
Yeah, that's another thing to work out. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
Pretty much like learn to love yourself and try to be like as perfect as you can. Like not everything is meant for you. Like say for example, if you can't like play football, for example, like you don't have that skill. Like if you're good at soccer, for example, like that's definitely your skill that you want to play. Like you're trying perfectionism for that.
Okay. Yeah, that's those are nice like closing words. I think we all. All right, so I'm going to close this off. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you guys. Thank you, Angie, Dimitri, Daniel. Thank you guys for coming, and I'm glad to hear your perspectives on it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us again. We will see you next week.
And if you made it this far, you're a real one.
Yeah.
It's a long time listening, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For sure.